Hey, and welcome to Daddy Mojo. It's the podcast where we'll talk about parenting, all-age comic books, toys, and more. Now, here's your host, Trey Burley.
Hey, Trey with Daddy Mojo here. We're talking about a book in its sophomore entry, and the first one snuck past us. And it's great when a second book in the series is entertaining without being confusing. And sometimes the two really step on each other. It's The Curious League of Detectives and Thieves. And that really sounds like an 80s song, doesn't it? This is book 2 in The Curious League of Detectives and Thieves. I think Boy George sang that. This is S.O.S. Tom Phillips is the author here. And let me think of the best way to describe this. It's a steampunk thing with a lot of detective things. And that's one thing that attracted to us about it. But you don't have to be entirely down with steampunk to enjoy the book. Basically, you've got two detectives. One is a detective in training, and the other one is an older, more established detective. The one who's in training still has to go through some trials and tribulations, whereas the older one is a bit more seasoned, if you will. And they're following this master criminal, but the master criminal escapes from jail. And the master criminal is a monkey. So it's very surreal. The monkey stows on this airship, so the two detectives have to go on the airship to hopefully find the stowaway. But then another mystery that they were also chasing henceforth crosses its path. And it's an entertaining book, but there are also morals. And we touched on this in the story, because John is the younger of the two detectives. And there are some morally questionable things that he has to encounter. Nothing bad. It's all age appropriate. It's upper elementary to middle school appropriate. It's just he meets up with some social media influencers who are doing stupid stuff for likes, and they question his things. Things get questioned. Again, it's nothing bad. And it's totally appropriate. It's something that those kids, those upper elementary school kids all the way through middle school, they're going to read it and say, you know what, this is not preachy, but I'm kind of learning something, but I'm not going to tell my parents I'm learning anything because I don't want them to think I'm learning something when I don't have to be learning anything. It's a quandary, you kids. You kids always trying to get rid of education and get out of it and go play your Fortnite in your mind and whatchamacallit. This book will help you do that. This is a longer chapter book. Some of the chapters are going to be a little long for those elementary school kids, but that's not really the intended age. I believe it is for middle school, even though those upper elementary school kids who can read and aren't going to be intimidated by like a 13-page chapter, they're going to dig it. It also makes me want to dig into the first book in the series, which was Egypt's Fire, because it kind of lays the groundwork, and we encounter that master thief, the monkey. Was it Jibjaw? What's his name? I forget the monkey's name. It's something like that. He was the main thief in the first book, if I understand things correctly. This is a really strong series. I hope it keeps going. And the steampunk thing is really fun, especially if kids haven't read it, because it's got some angles that are modern, but some things that are not. Kids are going to dig it. I like it. It's The Curious League of Detectives and Thieves. It's book 2 in the series, S.O.S.
Thanks for listening to Daddy Mojo. Be sure to tune in next time. For more information on any of the things we talked about today, just check out the website, daddymojo.net, or hit us up at Daddy Mojo on social media.